Hi, this is Verdaillia Turner and Georgia Now. Happy Appreciation Week. Hug a teacher, and we appreciate all teachers. This is Verdaillia Turner. Let's talk about the teacher shortage. The teacher shortage isn't anything new. Historically, what our country has done each time that we have too many teachers that the state may want to pay for, all of a sudden we start upping the standards for teachers. We put in all type of tests, all kind of standards. Many teachers, good teachers, people with good intentions are run out of the profession before they can even get into the profession. And different states have different standards. We talked about national teacher exam. I remember when Albert Shanker talked about that. But some states, like ours, decided to no longer give incentives to national teachers. Another problem that we have, though, with the teacher shortage is that anytime we have a crisis, and COVID-19 is one, we start lowering the teacher standards. In my hand, Georgia Professional Standards just decided to do that. And they're going to leave it up to the agencies who train teachers to decide how they want to train them. Well, let's see what Georgia is talking about doing. Removing the program admission assessment requirement. That's one thing they're going to do to attract more teachers. Another is to remove the minimum grade point average to qualify for a provisional certificate and to enter a Georgia PSC approved education prep program. All right, now let's just talk about common sense. Why aren't we doing that with our pharmacists? Why won't we do it with airline pilots? Why aren't we doing that with surgeons? So what are we really saying? Teachers like me, lifelong teachers, and many teachers listening today, know that this isn't the way to go. Because when Johnny can't read and Sally can't add, all of a sudden it's the teacher's fault, the school district's fault, and all kind of rules and regulations are made up to discourage the public about their public schools. We recently surveyed over 1,000 teachers. Some of these teachers taught only for 1 year. They've been there a year, one of them 39 years, and there's a running theme. The theme is that, and here's the good news, we wanted to teach. We love teaching, and we love our children. So we're in good hands with these ministers every day, these angels. So when we lower the standards and people who just need a job, want a job, not dedicated to the community to come in for a job, that's a problem for all of us. Another thing that we found out, we asked these teachers, if you could leave this occupation, when do you plan to leave? Over 90% said, I would leave it now. And then they gave us those reasons. The top reason is treatment, not money, although we suffer from a lack of money also. But that was the top reason, where many administrators who don't understand the teaching profession decided that they're just going to be bureaucrats. They'll put paperwork, extra paperwork, follow some edict that's being handed down by the state or by the Board of Education or by some other administrator, and long meetings are held. They're underappreciated, so therefore they're not able to teach the particular individual student, and your child is an individual. They just don't have the time, for one thing. Another thing that we found out that was common as to why they wanted to leave was that parents, yes, parents, have a lack of appreciation and respect for teaching. When my mother came along, teaching was a noble profession. It still is a noble profession in leading countries, and it can be a noble profession here. But we need parents to understand how to appreciate teachers. I was in a school out in Fulton County, and middle school, where French was taught a few years ago. The teacher was aided by the parents during the summer. They sent this teacher to France for their courses over the summer because they understood that the public school district was providing an education for their child, and the least that they could do was to augment their children's education by helping that teacher. So we do get too many parents who blame the teacher, dump parenting on the teacher, and want the teacher to raise their child. But then they'll scream if the teacher dares discipline their child. The good side and the good news is that we have a lot of good parents all of us love our children. And so when good parents who are responsible and take responsibility for their child's learning, because it starts at home, when they take that responsibility, we could also help good parents understand how to navigate their schools, how to navigate school districts. And if policies are in the way that are hindering parents from understanding how I could help my child's teacher and my child in the classroom, how I could come and just stand on the hall, do cafeteria duty, help grade papers, send a note of encouragement, buy them lunch, during planning time, get together, do breakfast for the staff. Those good parents understand the relationship between their child's success, society's success, and undergirding teachers. Another problem that teachers have in terms of underappreciation is the lack of pay. Teachers in Georgia can teach 30 long years under horrendous conditions and only retire at 60%, and that's taxed, of their salaries. And when we say, oh, we're going to start teachers at $55,000, let's look at other states, what they're starting teachers at. And I don't want to talk about the cost of living. Why? Because we should be able to have the best lifestyle we can without comparing. Oh, let me see how much I can get by with in Georgia compared to the state of Washington. That doesn't even make sense. But those are the factors that go into how we pay teachers. And then the benefits are completely lousy. We pay as teachers a lot for our benefits. Benefits should not be paid for. That should be something that we can attract and retain teachers with good benefits, even for our teeth, not just for our health. So it would seem common sense that if we treat teachers right, and we respect them, that we're going to get the best out of them. And we're not talking about National Teachers Day either. We're talking about every day, a way to appreciate our teachers. But that was the number one reason why people want to exit the profession. The other reason, when I talk about teachers not being appreciated, let's talk about bad children. Oh, Verdaillia, did you say that? Yes, I did. That's the elephant that nobody wants to talk about. Children out of control, children who are adults, children destroying property, children that have a disrespect and no appreciation for learning. Children who come in late, cut class, get on the telephone and compete, talk back to the teacher, and learn the rules on how to get a teacher fired with these subjective evaluations. We talk about we want to retain teachers, we appreciate teachers. These children, that's a societal problem. What can you do? Discipline your child. We're not talking about a racial thing here. You are the parent. You are not the best friend. Discipline your child. Am I going to get some flack? Of course I expect to get some flack. We discipline prisoners. We discipline ourselves at work. We discipline ourselves in the United States military. What's the problem with disciplining children? Now, I've given you some of the top reasons. There are many more. So we're talking about attracting teachers, not warm bodies, and retaining teachers. Then we're going to have to look at some of those systemic problems that politicians don't have time, don't take time to do. Now, teachers, I'm coming to you. There are so many organizations in the good old South. And you say, Verdaillia, are you a proponent of unions? That's what you do when you vote. The Democrats get everybody on one side, Republicans get them. They unionize you. They give you messages. Teachers, if you bend over and if you're divided, you're going to be continuously mistreated. So how do you do that? That's another subject. But you know me, I'm not going anywhere. I keep telling folk that. I was born and raised right here in Atlanta, Georgia. I love my state. So we're bringing the truth to you today. Nothing but the truth. And thank you for listening.